Welcome back to another episode of The Candid Clementine. Today in this video, I'm excited to share with you what I did during my fall and spring break in Denver, Colorado. Colorado is just like the outdoor enthusiast's dream. There is so much stuff to do literally everywhere. The nature around you is beautiful everywhere, and honestly, there's so many different ecosystems that you can see when you're there that I nerded out the entire time. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so this seems like a really obvious answer, so I'm just gonna get it out of the way with to begin. But hiking is an absolute must in Colorado. When I was there, I had two very different experiences with hiking. So on one day, we hiked in the Rocky Mountains and it was snowy and it was like 32 degrees when we got to the top. The wind was like 50 miles an hour. Made it to the top! And it was very, very cold. With this hike, it was super awesome because the landscape changed like 4 or 5 times throughout the entire duration of the hike. Like when we started, the ground was really iced over and slippery, so we would have to like slide down on our butts. And then as we kept going up further, then it started getting really rocky. And at one part, there was snow trickling through the air. And the way the sun was catching it made it look like glitter, and it was just like the most majestic thing that I've ever seen in my life. And then on the total opposite end of the spectrum, the next day we went to Garden of the Gods. It was very dry with red rocks everywhere. It felt very deserty, but the main difference was that it was 60 degrees and it was the same week. We were walking around in t-shirts and shorts and, you know, just having to chug water because we were so dehydrated. And it was just absolutely insane that we were able to have such different hiking experiences back to back right next to each other. But honestly, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Like, I can't imagine just rolling out of bed and being like, which kind of season do I want to encounter today? Another super spectacular thing that you have to visit when you're in Denver is visiting Pikes Peak. So Pikes Peak, while you technically can hike parts of it, the main idea of it is kind of that it's a drive to this beautiful observing point. When we were going up, we could tell the difference in pressure because we bought this bag of popcorn at the gas station, and you know, at first we didn't open the bag of popcorn, we just took it with us for a snack at the top, but as we kept going, the bag inflated more and more and more to the point where it, like, you know, you would put a little pressure on it and it would seem like it would just explode. So the entire time as we're driving up to the top of the mountain, we were like, oh my god, like what if this thing explodes in the back seat? Like, and if you've ever been to Pikes Peak before, you'll know that the drive up, some of it has guardrails, but a good chunk of it does not.
It's totally fine that I'm lightheaded.
Our whole family was like semi-joking that, you know, the next news headline that you would see is like, oh, you know, Midwestern family visits Colorado and dies because of a bag of popcorn. Like, swerve off the road and there you go, bye-bye. In terms of nearby places, we also explored the city of Boulder. There's one street in particular that I highly recommend called Pearl Street. And Pearl Street is full of so many different local businesses that prioritize things like organic and fair trade and locally produced goods. Along Pearl Street and around Denver and a lot of places in Colorado in general, there's a lot of live music. Being able to like hear the music outside as you're exploring, it felt like oh my god, my life is a movie. In addition, something interesting that I noticed about Colorado was that there were chocolate shops literally everywhere. And so we decided to check out Hammond's Candy Factory, which is a local candy producer. But at their candy factory, you can go and they have a tour where you can like view them making the candy behind the glass. And at the end of the tour, they let you have some of the stuff that's fresh off the belt.
Amazing! I love it!
My family also played chaotic mini golf when we were there, and so, I mean, mini golf is fun no matter where you're at, but we found a specific place that at nighttime nobody else happened to be there, so we went a little crazy.
Cooper's ready. Where is it?
Yeah, you got it!
Some family members were definitely injured in the process, but it was a really fun time. Last but not least, I would love to plug an ice cream shop that we found nearby Denver that has some of the best ice cream that I've ever had in the world. It's a place called Josh and John's, and I got the salted peanut butter flavored ice cream, and it is so creamy with like the perfect amount of richness and saltiness in one. It was just like, mwah, chef's kiss. So now that I've walked through a little bit of some of my adventures in Colorado and experience, I have some parting notes to take with you guys. So if you are in Colorado or any like really pretty nature area in the United States or across the world, try to remember principles of leave no trace. This is things like, oh, don't go veering off of paths, obviously don't litter, take things with you. One really specific thing that I've been trying to be conscious about in this video is geotagging. Geotagging is basically like on Instagram and stuff when you're like, oh yeah, like here are my pictures and this is where I was, which is really awesome for getting vacation inspiration. But unfortunately, in doing that, you're attracting more people to these natural spaces, and that can degrade the land and make it so, you know, future generations along the line won't be able to experience it in the same way that we can. I know I mentioned Garden of the Gods in this example. That's a more popular one anyways, so I thought it was fine, but like specific trails, tried to leave out. Sorry. Last but not least, if you're in Colorado, have fun, because it's a truly amazing place on this planet and there's so much to see and explore and discover. So yeah, I really hope I can get back to Colorado. I know I'll get there again someday. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Colorado is pretty rad, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe down below, and that's all I have for today. See you later.